Dwayne Bryant here from WagerTalk.com with another edition of DB's Freebies. Looking to drop a little situation information on you for Friday, May 14th. Before I get to that, though, just a quick note over at dbbets.com today. Keep your eye out for a 5% max bet. This is the highest rated play that I put out. And before I went on the air, it was looking like that when I get done with recording the show, that I will be posting a 5% max bet on today's action. So keep an eye out for that. Let's head over to the T&A portion of the program, and a reminder, as always, never make a bet based on any single trend, angle, or piece of information. Simply use this information as one piece in your handicapping puzzle of each game. Only use it to further support a play you already liked or to make you look closer at a play where this information disagrees with your opinion. Let's start with the NBA Game 501, Cleveland Cavaliers and the Washington Wizards. This angle recommends a play on Cleveland, and it says play on underdogs that have failed to cover the spread in at least 12 of their last 15 games when facing an opponent that has covered 4 or 5 of its last 6 games. Now, this angle is 97 and 56 for 63% winners since 1996. So we have one team that has not been covering the spread much and for quite some time, and we have another team that has been covering the spread more often than not lately. In cases like this, the team that hasn't been covering much at all for quite a while eventually gets undervalued, and teams that have been covering lately eventually become overvalued. This angle becomes or combines both scenarios and creates some good value on the team that hasn't been covering the spread lately. So Cleveland is definitely worth a closer look in this game. Let's move over to game 503. It's the Denver Nuggets and the Detroit Pistons. And this angle recommends a play against Detroit, hence on Denver. And it says play against underdogs of 3.5 to 9.5 points after a game committing at least 13 more turnovers than their opponent. Now, this angle has gone 71 and 30 for 70% winners since 1996. So we have an inferior team, and I say inferior team based on the fact that they're a decent-sized underdog in this scenario. And they're coming off a very sloppy game in which they committed a ton more turnovers than their opponent. And this angle shows that these sloppy teams don't bounce right back with a solid effort. In fact, they're worth fading in their next outing, as that poor execution is likely to continue against a superior opponent. So I'll definitely be giving Denver a closer look in this game. Let's move over to the NHL. Game 43. Toronto Maple Leafs and Winnipeg Jets. This angle recommends a play against Toronto, hence on Winnipeg. And it says play against a favorite on Friday nights after a road game where both teams scored 3 or more goals. This angle is 52 and 29 for 64% winners over the last 5 seasons. This is one of those angles that I simply do not like. And if you've seen one of my previous shows, you know exactly what I'm going to say next. 3 words ruined this angle, and those 3 words were, and I quote, on Friday nights. Anytime I see a day of the week listed in a trend or angle, I immediately ignore it and move on. The day of the week is just so random, and it has no real bearing on the outcome of these games. This angle is a prime candidate for regression based on this Friday night parameter, so we're going to ignore it and just move on to the next game. And that next game is going to be in Major League Baseball, game 917, the LA Angels and the Boston Red Sox. And this angle recommends a play against the Angels, hence on Boston. And it says when the line is plus 125 to minus 125, play against road teams with a team batting average of 255 or worse if they scored 2 runs or less in 2 straight games. This angle is 62-20 for 76% winners over the last 5 seasons. So here we have a road team that hasn't been hitting the ball well all season, and they haven't scored many runs in recent games either. That definitely does not sound like a team that I want to put my money on. And this angle shows that fading those teams is quite profitable when the line is near even. So Boston is definitely worth a closer look here. Let's stay in Major League Baseball and do some rapid fire T&A to wrap this up. Number 1. Over the last 2 seasons, San Diego's Joe Musgrove is 0-8 against National League teams with a batting average of .245 or worse. Number 2. Houston's Zach Greinke is 31-8 in home games against American League teams with a team batting average of .255 or worse. Number 3. Philadelphia's Vincent Velasquez is 8-22 after giving up 1 earned run or less in his last start. Number 4. Over the last 3 seasons, the under is 17-3 when Kansas City's Brad Keller starts against a division opponent. And number 5. Over the last 3 seasons, the under is 23-9 when the White Sox Lucas Giolito starts versus teams who strand 6.9 or fewer runners on base per game. And as always, I'll end with the same reminder we started with. Never make any bet based on any single trend, angle, or piece of information. You are simply to use each piece of information as just that, one piece of information in your handicap of each game. And that will do it for today's T&A. As always, you can follow me on Twitter at WagerTalk Don't forget to smash the like button and hit the bell to get notifications. Don't forget to head over to dbbets.com, as in a little while or shortly after I've finished recording this, I am going to most likely be putting up a top-rated 5% max bet for today's action. You won't want to miss that. And that will do it for me today. DB signing off for today and for the week. Have a great, profitable weekend. And until we meet again, best of luck on all your wagers.